Good morning, everybody from the East Coast. I'm gonna try to do a little video, see if I can get things started on my end. But I definitely want to help. Uh, I'm here to collaborate and share knowledge as well as receive shared knowledge. Um, I'll just give you a quick little recap. Uh, I've been placed in jail twice on perjured affidavits in the last 3 years. Nothing came about of it. Everything's been dropped. My first charges were expunged and everything was dismissed. The second one has been dismissed, but I haven't gone through the expungement yet. And absolutely nothing has happened to the mother. It's not like I want things to happen to her, but problem with all fathers that have to deal with this is there's absolutely no accountability on the other end. Not really per se gender related, but I mean, we kind of get the idea. We know how that is. Either way, um, right now, as of I believe sometime last week or the week before, she had just finished her DSS CPS contract and program that uh, she, accepted their solicitations, in which she's rightfully the one that should be uh, scrutinized. Um, she's been in mental institutions voluntarily and involuntarily committed across 3 different states, roughly 6-ish times. You would think that the states and their investigations would pull those documents, especially when I went to the what do you call it, the district attorney's office for prosecutions and whatnot, with information about that so that they can look into it. They never did. They're doing this because they know that the convolution of someone's life is to their benefit. And when I say their, I mean the courts. They receive incentives. I still have a home that can house my children. We can still feed them, provide utilities and whatnots. But I am essentially free and clear right now from the system, but it's only a matter of time before she takes action again. Uh, Whenever she doesn't take her medication, she becomes very childlike, and that's not for argument's sake or objective opinion. This is literally what happens to her. When she's on the medication, she is rational. She is, accountable to the things that she's done. But just recently, after being free and clear of the courts, her medications started giving her an allergic reaction, which I don't know her medical stuff. It's not my business. I try to make sure that she just takes what the doctors have prescribed her. I can't force her. I don't monitor her. I'm not her God. I'm not her father. I do and have always been a support for her mental health, physical health, and emotional health. I do have some faults that I still need to get better at, but this is one of the things that I wanted to say. Uh, Nathan has the exact representation that you should conduct yourself in when it comes to these moments when they try to pull you out of character to get a rise out of you, a reaction. And with that, that's what helped me the 2 times I went through this. Just because I'm not going through the courts right now doesn't mean I won't be. I don't want to. It's no one's business to go through my life and do a life enema. Um, I shouldn't be subjected to all this stuff when I have built everything that my wife has asked for. I've paid for a brand new car back in 2009. I got her a 2010 Focus with my credit. I paid for it, gifted it to her. Um, it's nothing I wanted to hold over her head. It was something I wanted her to have so that she was taken care of. I didn't have to keep fixing her vehicle because we get something used. Um, I have put myself through the scrutiny of uh, also giving her what she wanted, which is essentially what I wanted, a home. But with the economy doing what it was doing, the prices of rentals being as much as a mortgage payment, if not more, that one kind of threw me into buying a house, as well as obviously we wanted a house of our own. Uh, Again, my credit, my financing, I take care of it. Uh, I used to be a mover of 13 years on an athletic and professional level. I seriously believe that I am a uh, professional relocator. I'm a driver, a mover, but I've also educated myself in many other fields. Within those years, I got into mechanic trade, not as an employee, but just, shady tree mechanic, just teaching myself, learning from the old people, reading Haynes manuals and ATSG manuals, working on my own things so that way I could practice myself to help others, and also obviously to maintain our own vehicles without having to rely on paying someone else for subpar work. Either way, after 13 years of being a mover, I decided to pick a different trade because the company I was working for was going down quick, and I didn't want to be a part of that ship. It was not savable. It never was saved. Uh, it just changed hands to the sun, and they're kind of living off of the 15 years that company was operating in honor. So they're doing their thing. I'm not, you know, hindering them. That's not my business. But got into landscaping, remodeling, hardscaping, just for my own educational purposes. That's my school. I use work to teach me, on the job training. It's the best education. Uh, so I did that, and I had a serious moment where I had to look at, what my responsibilities were, what my job was as a man, as a father, and as a husband. And I needed to step up. I have no education. Last year of school that I wouldn't say completed, but last year of school I was in was 10th grade, and I was a no name in my town, so even when I asked for help, I didn't get it. I excelled in school when I did my work, but it was for no reason. I voluntarily I volunteered to move out at the same time as getting kicked out because I'd rather have my mom be happy than me be a burden to the family of someone's opinion of how I should be turning into a man. Either way. So after I learned those trades to help myself with the house that I bought so that I can maintain it and fix things and do what I need to do without having to work even harder to pay for the services that I needed, I decided to just learn how to do them myself. Got very good at it. Remodeled 3 of my bathrooms in my house. I've remodeled the kitchen, completely upgraded our house from what it was when we moved in it. So, as of right now, we're just renting the other side to make some sort of income because I can't leave my home and go be a traveling technician like I was. And that leads me into, well, where did I go from landscaping, hardscaping, home remodeling? I decided to reach out to a friend who had made a post and said, "Would you like to make good money being in the wind industry. So I became a wind tech. Mind you, no GED, no high school education. Just pure on the job training, educating myself when I wasn't on the job about the logistics of the industry I'm in. But at that rate, I made it about 5-6 years in the wind industry, and within that 5-6 years, here we are today. Leaving my kids home with this woman is like rolling the dice on a table that you know you can win, but you're looking at the dealer who's stacked against you. Even if you land on the winning number, you still don't get the payout because there was some rule, some clause, some weird thing that said, well, even though you put your money down and gambled to do the right thing and you rightfully should win this bet that you placed, no, house wins, and we're gonna give it to one of the other members at the table. That's how my life has been. I work so hard. I've worked my hands, bloodied, torn, injured, and just kept going. I mean, I've shot myself with a little boo-boo. I got a trim nail in my finger once, and I just snapped a picture of it, posted it on Facebook, pulled the nail out, taped it up, and went back to work. That's just how I am. I grew up without a father, so it's weird I turned out as such a, in my opinion, stoic man. Someone who can consider everybody and not try to be better than everyone, not to walk around with pride and ego. I've learned at a very, very early age, you are claiming a lot when you tell and act as though you are better than everyone. You have a lot to prove if that's the way you walk around. And I learned it's better just to stay humble. It's better just to educate yourself to the depths of what you're learning to make sure that you've got all your bases covered. You are very well informed, and you make you make educated decisions based off of that and choices. I have increasingly put the work to mature myself, to learn as much as I possibly can to be there for my children. Everything that I've just said in the last 13 minutes was because I grew up without a father and I needed a father. And when I was 8 years old, I made a pact to myself to be the man that I need to be for my children and to be a father that I never had around. I built myself in that structure to be able to provide for my children and my wife, to protect my children and my wife. And as time has gone by in this 20 years of commitment that I made to this woman, things are increasingly and exponentially getting worse for my kids, for myself. I have documented proof of these events, of patterns. I'm very intelligent, but in a freestyle way. I don't write things down. I just know where I can resource all my evidence, all my facts when I need to. I know how to use my resources to be able to make up for what I lack in actually physically documenting my daily life. I document it in a way that I take pictures, I take texts. I can go back, they're time stamped. So one thing I need to be more stringent on is what Nathan has said, do the parenting log. I do need to discipline myself in that area from here on out. As much as I hate schoolwork, I can't fault school for that. I have to fault myself for that, for the sense that I'm just trying. I've taken on a huge chunk in life and I've prevailed, but one of the things, like I said, I hate documenting. I hate doing schoolwork. I hate doing homework. I'm good at it when I do it, but I could be utilizing that time for my children. Could be utilizing that time with my family, going places, seeing things, teaching. It's one of my biggest things is you can never have enough knowledge. But there is a double-edged sword to that. The other side of that sword is you know too much. And when you know too much, you then fall into a place of isolation. And that's one thing I've been very good at trying not to fall into. However, the destruction that has happened in my life with my resources, my friends, my families, has all been destroyed from the person who no one wants to be around. So they've had to kind of shield themselves from me because of her. They don't hate me. They don't think that I'm wrong. There may be some opinions that they don't think I'm right on, but at the same time, they don't know what goes on in these four walls or our relationship. But if everyone knew the facts, they'd be like, well, you're not perfect, but damn, you did well. And that's just an objective opinion from outsiders, but I do know that I have stayed in honor, done the right thing. Any mistake that I've made, I have, before even being called out on it, I corrected it, I fixed it. And if I am called out at it and corrected on it, I am not one to argue. No, you're right. I will work on it. So I do. But anyways, I'm sorry this video is very long, but just know that I'm making an attempt to be involved in a group setting support such as this. Fathers Under Fire, tough, all those who are in our position fighting for the honorable man to be there for his children and to make sure that, we're not doing retaliatory things to the other half who is just trying to make our lives miserable. So just stay in honor. Nate has the right message, and I know I have followed that before I ever ran into Nate's, profiles or any of his videos. So I just recently started seeing his videos on my algorithm. So he was one that seemed to be able to start what I need to be doing, and many of us men need to be doing what Nate and all the others are doing who have stepped up to, help us men and also women who are in our situation. But I love everybody. I consider everybody. You could hate me and I still love you. I'm just not going to give you energy if you hate me or if you're not being accountable. I'll be accountable to that situation and just step away. But either way, stay strong, everybody. Stay in honor. Control yourselves. Emotional regulation is key. Don't react. Just stay strong. We got this, and you can do this. Thank you all for your time. Have a good one.